podcast episode of Chillpool Sessions featuring Delasahi. We are with three amazing cosplayers. We got Saint Valkyrie, we got Fuji Megukos, and you got Cool Cosplay, which I
B2
think
cosplay.
B2 Cosplay, which I get that so fucking wrong. On this
I'm
podcast,
kind
we
of in the middle of a rebrand, so got both names up there for now.
okay, that's cool. So we are going to talk about like one of the foundations, what the backbone of cosplay, which is prop making. It can be like a lot of different materials that you could use, either wood, foam, EVA foam, a lot. So we are going to talk about like the cosplays that they have built so far on using all these type of materials. So thank you for joining us.
Yes, and thank you
It's
for
an absolute
inviting us.
pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Do you have any questions for our fabulous guest?
Well, first, how about you guys do like a little introductions of yourselves? Let's start with B2 cosplays first.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm Brandon, B2 cosplay or Gajinka Ghoul cosplay. That's my current rebrand. I'm actually from the United States, so unfortunately, I'm not able to join these wonderful people here today. But I'm calling in from virtually. So I'm a cosplayer who focuses on 3D printing. That's been my specialty. Most of this cosplay is 3D printed, including the helmet, the mask, the chest plate I'm wearing, and the staff I have. 3D printing is mainly how I make all my props. And I just cosplay for fun. I like to do Gajinkas are a term for like humanized Pokemon. So this is Suicune from Pokemon. I like the kind of creativity that you're able to do from taking like a Pokemon and making like an outfit or a cosplay inspired by it. And I started cosplay through work in a nonprofit called Alliance of Heroic Hearts, where basically we cosplay as different Marvel and DC and pop culture characters and go to like kids' birthday parties, library visits, hospital visits. And instead of taking money for this, we raise money for pediatric cancer research and other charitable causes. So when I came into my freshman year in college, I joined the organization and now I am the president of it, coming up into my junior year. And I'm just trying to do everything I can to make the organization as great as it can be.
Well, congrats on being
Yeah.
the president. That's
Thank you.
that,
Thank
that's
you.
gonna be so cool and amazing. If I started, please, I have ADHD. So
So do I.
say Valkyrie. Hi.
All right, hello. My name is Saint Valkyrie, or well, that's my cosplay handle. But my name actually is Jaisel. I started cosplaying 2 years ago, and when I first went to Comic Con, it was supposed to be like a one and done kind of situation. I would go there as Beto, I would have fun, and then I would be done with it. And I kind of tripped along the way, and I have a workshop now. um, I ended up just really getting an interest in cosplay and prop making because it's hard for me to keep my attention on one thing at the same time. And then cosplay ended up challenging me in all of these different disciplines, these different elements. I'm not sure what I specialize in yet, but I do know that I really love making armor. I love the sewing part, wig styling. It's a complicated relationship with it.
So love hate, love hate.
But although I've been cosplaying for 2 years, I've been prop making for 1 year, and my 1 year was actually done in this June.
Oh,
And I'm very excited to finally be moving on to my second cosplay, which we will see revealed next month. And yeah, that's me.
Let's just make one thing clear. Cosplay is never a one and done
No,
type of thing. It's never like that. Once you're in it, you're done. Like you are
One
in.
of us
That
now.
is it. One of us. One
one
of
of
us.
us,
One
one
of
of
us.
us.
And now let's move on to our final guest, which is Fujimekos. Hi.
Hi, hello. So my name is Gabs or Gabriela, whatever you want to call me. And my handle on Instagram is Fushimegukos. I'm 22 years old and I started cosplaying around 2022 as a one-time thing as well because I just wanted to cosplay like Power from Chainsaw Man because I thought she was cool. I like her design and everything, but you know, we got away with it because I love Genshin and I bought a Genshin cosplay and that was just it. I kept on making. I learned how to sew. I learned how to make props. So I would say that props are my kind of thing right now. I do have a sewing commission that I've been posting on my Instagram. So I think that people are gonna like that commission very much. Um, so yeah, that's just basically it. And I have my small business that I started like a couple days ago, which is Fushinique Creations. Like it's a random name, but if you can put it like
Yeah, we'll
between
add it. Yeah.
yeah, put it like right here. It's kind of a new account, pero between all, like you can go follow me there and just commission me props, clothing, like stuff like that. I'm not able to make like an armor like Saint Valkyrie right here because that's epic.
I am the monster, rah rah rah.
But I'm still not at that level. Just small props or big ones, but not armor. Not armor, please.
I am nowhere near anybody's level.
Me either. I just do cosplay
Like-
basically with the Deadpool mask.
Yeah.
Like I can be honest, like basically I can fend for myself on some things, but the rest are like no.
Yeah.
Like I don't got the time, sort of like yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the main struggle with any cosplayer is timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
and
time.
money. That's like
So-
the main issue.
Now speaking of time, B2, was that like the most cosplay that took you so much time to do, or are there like more complicated?
This is my first and only 100% build cosplay. Everything that I am wearing right now, I made myself. Either sewed, 3D printed, whatever. This is all made by me. It also has a special place for me because it's the first Gajinka I did, which again is now like my serious branding. I also did a Chandelure from Pokemon. That's been my favorite so far. I'm gonna be posting on my Insta soon. But yeah, it's doing the humanized Pokemon has really been big for me. So not only with this being my first 100% build, but my first Pokemon build as well, it holds a lot of special feelings for me. And yeah, this took 182 hours to do everything. Model, print, paint, sew, everything was 182 hours in total.
Wow, that is so amazing. And to be like your only like 100% built cosplay so far, it looks really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Sewing has been holding me back for a while. I got into it very recently. I've been 3D printing for 11, 12 years now, ever since I was in middle school. So I've gotten very, very, very comfortable with it. It's just time for sewing to kind of try to bridge the gap a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. So, same question for you, Bakari. What was like the cosplay that took so much time out of your life?
Oh Lord.
Basically.
I mean, I'd love to say the cosplay that I'm working on right now. I've been working on it since November, and I think one of the larger pieces of this cosplay, it's taking me a total of between 100 and 150. And I got excited after seeing Kenpatsu Cosplay's like Night Princess Beach cosplay. And I ended up showing him the costume, and I was like, oh, I think this is beautiful. I wish I could make this. And this is what ended up setting my path for the next 3 months. Foam Smith, you just went, why not? And I kept asking myself, why not? Why not? Why not? And I kept thinking about it, and I found that Kenpatsu had a pattern and tutorial book to make it. And I was like, all right, I'm going in blind. I had never sewn. I had never managed foam. I've never worked with a Dremel or a heat gun. I've never styled a wig. And I was like, okay. I was on the struggle bus for a little bit, but I just loved what I was doing so much that I couldn't really find myself stopping. And the sewing was stressful, making the armor was stressful, but all in all, I just felt really at peace, really happy, and really proud of myself for testing my limits and doing something I hadn't done before. because the entire point of going into Daisy without a shred of experience, and I'm going to look you in the eye while I say this, was essentially show
Prolonged eye contact.
Prolonged eye contact.
essentially show that without experience, without so-called talent or anything, literally anybody can make a big, beautiful project that they're proud of. If I could do it, you absolutely can. And I really hope to see people make their own cosplays. I've been seeing a lot of new people make their cosplays this summer, and I have been endlessly proud of them.
Yeah.
One of the cosplayers that I'd like to shout out that I've seen so much growth for him would be Vix Vapokos.
Oh, I don't think.
He's done an amazing job, and really I commend him. His growth has been really fast, and I hope to see more from him and other rising cosplayers in the community.
Yeah, same.
That's awesome. Now, Fushi, what was the cosplay that gave you a lot of headache?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I did a cosplay for KawaiiCon that involved a yarn wig. So that wig took me about 2 weeks and a half to complete. It's like I think the clips are like 3 feet tall. So basically, it took me like a lot of time. In the sewing part, I got really frustrated because I bought patterns, they weren't the correct size. I had to adjust them and all that. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna finish this on time. But I did it. I did it. The prop took me about 2 days. So it was really good. But I think the cosplay that I'm working right now for Sekaiju Con as well, for Saturday, it's a bit, I'm making a yarn wig again, but it involves styling between all. So I'm gonna be using some cables and everything to put the hair all together. And I'm gonna be making a prop as well, and I'm gonna be making new clothing with all new themes. So I'm gonna be working with that. And I've been working on that cosplay right after KawaiiCon. I just went and bought the things, and I was decided that I wanted to do that. Um, so yeah, like that's everything I have.
Man.
Awesome. Also, I see that you guys have brought like some prop with us.
Yes.
So I would
And
like
see one with Brandon too.
we would like we would like to see them and like their backstory of it. Since you, Valkyrie, you got the prop signed by a certain voice actor on Nasamasuri last year. Care like to
I did.
share us?
This is Princess Daisy's sword. I decided to bring this one particularly because it had 3D printing, it had foam work for this detail, it had a bit of sewing here. This is like hand braided black leather that I found. Well, I ended up braiding it. And this is woodworked. However, it has Ray Chase's signature, who was one of the special invited guests for Sakaiju Con. They are incredible for inviting him and the rest of the Jujutsu Kaisen cast. But Ray ended up signing the sword as the Master of Masters, and he ended up writing, "Let your heart be your guiding key." And this was a bit of a funny moment when I was getting it signed, because I had just won second place with my first cosplay, and I could have never foreseen something like that happening. And I was like very emotionally raw.
Yeah.
So after he signed the sword, I started sobbing in front of this poor man.
No, and I'm gonna be honest. Like, we were talking with Valkyrie earlier about this. Last year when we saw her at the convention, like the only thing that was going to my mind was, "Holy shit," because
Yeah.
you look so freaking badass in that cosplay, and it was like something I've never seen before. And honestly, like I personally loved it. I know that she loved it, and so many people around us were like screaming because it was like it looked like it was like professionally made or something. And then when she told me that, like when you told me that you made it, it was like, whoa, it's even more like impressive. You know?
Yes. And to also think about that, you just revealed that you have never done it before.
It was the first one.
That it was like your first one doing like with foam and everything that que llevó, ¿verdad? The cosplay. It was mind blowing, and the fact that you won a prize
Yeah.
In second place.
on
The second place of
another
that.
city.
Yeah.
So for me, it was fucking incredible. But dude,
Oh yes. it was an absolute honor to be able to be up on that stage, especially like next to Agda Sidaime, because I admire her to death. She makes incredible cosplays. But really,
Shout out to Arte Sevenea.
yes!
The beast.
The beast, the beast.
I think, but I really think half of that cosplay wouldn't even have been possible were it not for the Foamsmith's patience with me throughout the summer because he had to handle the crisis, the I'm not going to finish this on time, the how do I do this, and it was always this very careful guiding, and it was also a process of doing a lot of research, testing things out, and I think it's very important to test what works best for your cosplay and your style, especially to get the desired result. Because the best cosplay is the cosplay that you feel confident and proud of. And yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have like a little question, but this one's gonna go for Brandon. It's gonna be the same thing. But first, like I know that this is like I believe your first made cosplay, also, if I'm not mistaken.
This is my first 100% build. I've made cosplays and I made props for about 2 years now, but this is the first 100% build. I've done armor builds, I've done Chainsaw Man, I've done a few things with very large props like this. This is just the first costume where I made literally everything.
Let me tell you, man. Like again, your cosplay also, just like with Valkyrie and Fushi. Like I love your cosplay, man. It is amazing, man. It's like wow. Like
Thank
when you
you.
showed me that
Thank you.
photo from the convention that we spoke about this week, I honestly like that was like a professional. Also, like I man, honestly, props to you, man. Tip my hat to you, man.
Props.
Get it?
Get it, get it, get it.
Oh,
That was funny. That was funny.
all right.
It is funny.
Ask me the same question.
Okay. But I'm so sorry.
Oh no.
It's okay. If anything, we can just edit this out.
No, don't edit it out. Keep it, please.
No one
People
was
need to
expecting a
laugh.
bad joke out of me. It's fine.
Fushi,
Okay.
you brought powers.
Yes.
Care to show us
Yes.
before I get into another bit of laughter?
Yes. Yes. Okay. This is power side. I'm sorry. It's a bit big, but basically,
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
I made this like to my size because I'm very, small and everything. But the first part is basically made out of cardboard because I didn't have foam to work it with. This is just like two sticks, and I made a support for them to be like longer because the sticks that are long they sell at the Home Depot, like they weren't the grit that I wanted. So I basically just did that, and then I just spray painted it basically. So yeah, this was like my first prop ever. So I feel kind of proud of it. I had to change it again because I broke it once in a convention. I got mad and I just
Damn,
hit it.
she used it like a real weapon.
Yeah. I like used it and just like pat, pat. So yeah. You guys
She
want me to
let
show, like,
out the power kidney
yeah,
in that moment.
like the power kitty moment. I just and I kind of broke it. So for another conversion, when I used it, I just did it better, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Also, I have a prop, which is my pride and joy. I didn't bring it with me because my dumbass forgot. But if you can like
Yeah.
pull it up, that just in a minute, it's just my pride and joy, my child, which is Dea's weapon
Yeah.
from Kitchen Impact. That I commissioned it to the photographer named Okal. So Okal, I love you. So the weapon in itself is a 3D print. It has the wood inside of the prop and also as a handle, which basically he did the whole work, which is the printing, the putting the pieces together, uh, eh, basically doing the hard work. I just did the light work, which is the painting.
Yeah,
And
it looks really cool.
thank
Yeah,
you.
that's insane.
And that okay, To put it on perspective, I am 5'4". I'm a small adult. That is basically Valkyrie's height, which is like around 5'8",
5'10".
5'9".
5'10".
5'10"?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
around
Okay.
like around Valkyrie's height.
Yeah.
So basically, even with the boots that I had on
No, it was really
Delasahi
big.
last year,
Yeah. Yeah.
it passed me by like this bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that was like amazing. Also, that thing's is
Heavy.
heavy.
Yeah, because it has the wood. I didn't know that, but yeah.
It's
Yeah.
heavy.
Guess who has to carry
Like it weighed like
Mhm.
around like 10 pounds. I don't know.
Ooh,
Damn.
Around.
Carrying that.
She was
So-
like that all con.
Yeah.
By the way, I saw her like from afar, and I was like, "Yo, that weapon is so cool." But I mean, that's really big. How is she carrying that?
Yeah. I mean, I think back on I was
Pure whale.
Wait, even Ray Chase,
Basically,
when he held it, he was like,
there
it was
was-
heavy.
Yeah.
For him
Yeah.
to say it was heavy,
Yeah.
it was like, damn.
There was a point when I was like in line for the signatures of the voice
Mhm.
actors.
Yeah.
And all that, and I said to my friend like, "Yo, I'm gonna walk around a little bit." So because I was in high heels too, so I
Mhm.
needed to walk around.
Yeah.
I didn't make it 10 steps in that freaking convention that I suddenly had a circle of people surrounding me
Like, oh, that's
to
so
take
cool.
pictures with me. So I had like the moments that I don't know if you can like show it, the video that I sent you. Basically, I was doing like the movement, which basically like grab it here
Yeah,
and
grab
then
it here and yeah.
put it on my shoulders, which it left me aching. That video was shot by Jello, so Jello, love you. So basically, so I was doing like that movement all day.
Mhm.
¿De dónde saca las fuerzas? I don't know.
Yeah. No one the back pain después.
Oh,
Like,
God.
That's
Yeah,
horrible.
I painted like the brown was by like spray paint, basically. So like to get that work done. So the yellow and gold, I did it literally
hand.
like with acrylic paint and a lot of patience.
The lines are really clean on that sword. You did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Thank
yeah,
you.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thank
You to
you.
have patience. I would have just, I don't know, leave it like that or
Agreed.
something.
Believe it or not, out of the two of us, I'm the one with the least amount of patience. I don't have patience
Yeah.
at all.
I think the
So-
ADHD helps you focus.
Hyper
least.
focus, let's go.
Like you either don't focus at all, or it's like a laser beam focus.
Absolutely.
That's why I wish the cons that I had, because the code that I had on Hibana, the Fire Wars, I did that so last minute porque yo tenía I had a photo shoot of Hibana which doubled as a birthday
Okay.
at the photo shoot, so I had to finish it. So it caused me to not only eat properly because I didn't eat properly or at all.
Mhm.
I had like a bit of an anxiety attack, which when my anxiety rises, my chest hurts.
Yeah.
So it left me with that chest pain for months, not weeks, months.
Oh.
It was until like I could finally calm down at work. So I was like, okay, ya estoy calmada.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
So please don't do what I do what I say.
I have an experience like that. That's,
Like made props. Brandon, tell us a little bit about your props that you have right there.
okay, so this right here, the take I decided to do for Suicune was an armored mage look inspired by the Japanese samurai. So this right here is like the kind of magic staff. I don't know how familiar everyone is with Pokemon, but this symbol is actually the crest that appears on Suicune's head. So for the staff, that's why I have this here too. So for the staff, I thought it would look really cool if I could have all four of them with a glowing light in the middle. Then the handle is a dowel rod that I wrapped the entire thing in twine and then ribbon. So the lighting isn't great, but it's wrapped like a katana is, where you have like that inner texture of like the twine and then wrapped in the ribbon. And Suicune also has these two very long, wavy tails, which I decided to replicate in the costume by doing these. It's ribbon that I put a trim down the middle and added specialty flowers to add to like the kind of regalness effect of the costume. And yeah, overall this is pretty light, which is nice. The base of the staff also has a little something here, has another four of the symbols, and the light is actually removable. So I can change colors and just use this for other projects because I don't
Yeah.
want to keep buying lights.
Nice.
That's really cool.
Thank you. I have one of my favorite props though. It's not all the way together right now because the staff is 8 feet tall, but this was for my aforementioned chandelier. So this is the 3D printed portion. Caught my towel. This entire thing is 3D printed. This gets mounted on top of about a 6.5 foot tall piece of PVC, and every one of these has a candle on it as well that lights up and glows. This is probably my favorite prop that I've done is this thing. Although it does get pretty heavy. It gets up to like 8 pounds or so.
Yeah.
That looks so amazingly majestic. Like I don't even have words for it.
It looks
It looks
very
so really
fantasy.
cool.
Like, I love it.
Clean, also like it looks cool.
It looks
It
clean.
looks
Yeah.
really nice.
And also speaking of like 3D printed and all that, which like for beginners, which 3D print machine do you guys recommend?
Ooh.
You use 3D
Okay.
printing.
No.
That's a loaded question. Personally, for beginners, I would recommend something from Anycubic. Personally, I use the Anycubic Cobra 2 Neo. It's a relatively cheap printer, around 180 to 200 bucks. You do have to assemble it coming out of the box, but it's pretty easy. And the print quality is very good, especially for a printer of that price. The size is good. Now, for some of my more advanced stuff, this is not for beginners. This is for any advanced people.
Mhm.
I use a Bamboo Labs P1S with the AMS system. So that's about $1,000 printer
Oh my
that
god.
can print in 4 different colors and 12 inches by 12 inches by 12 inches. So like the entire top part of this helmet was printed on that bamboo in multicolor. Like I barely
That
needed
was
to,
basically my paycheck
Literally.
in a month.
I was
Spare change, ma'am.
lucky to afford it as a gift for my birthday from my parents. I would
Oh.
not have been able
That's
to
the
spend that money
key. As a
myself.
gift, don't buy it yourself.
It's like my birthday is coming up. What is my gift?
Yeah, I mean, my birthday's
Yeah.
coming up in a couple like next week, so
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
But yeah, I barely had
te están tirando una indirecta.
For brother in Christ. No.
I didn't really have to paint the top of the helmet because it printed in these different colors. It prints in multiple colors at once. So the white, the dark blue of this, and then the light blue of the main body of the helmet are just the natural filament colors. I did not need to paint that. The only thing I had to paint were the silver accents on the side.
Okay. Awesome.
nice.
Really awesome. Bakri, you have messed around like with a 3D printer. Do you have any recommendations?
No, I've only. No, not at all. These 3D printed pieces were commissioned.
Okay.
I normally commission my 3D printing pieces. I did try 3D printing in college because for a final engineering project, we had to design a prosthetic and then 3D print it.
Okay.
And I don't think I've ever faced a worse nightmare in my life. So I have a lot of respect for people who 3D print their armor. It can be a very finicky process. So I find myself with a bit more comfort on the fully kind of like hands-on of the foam.
Yeah.
Digitally, I can kind of like struggle a little bit.
Okay. Do you have any questions? Darren.
Actually, I do have something for each of you. I'm gonna start with the first one with Fushi. What inspired you to do prop making?
What inspired me to do prop making? Okay. It's just I feel like props give cosplays like some kind of a boom or something. Like contacts make your eyes look pretty, like makeup make his face like the people who get like makeup and stuff like that put on their face and then you're like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like something like that. And I think that the prop helps you and helps people maybe, right, to recognize your character a little bit and see what kind of skill work you have or other people have because some props are commissioned and stuff like that. Uh, but there's people who take the time to actually do them. Like Valkyrie here, she made that sword out of wood. I would never do that. Like, I think that my style is foam, basically. Like, I can work with foam because I can adapt it. I can make it my own shape. Right there, I am making this prop. This was a, oh my god. Okay, this was my Kawaii Con prop. It's from Sweetheart from Amori. It's basically all foam, and this part right here to stabilize it is basically like the paper towel roll when
Yeah.
it's empty,
Yeah.
and just yeah, this is basically all foam. If you look at it, like I stabilized it here a bit, and it's hot glue and everything, but I kind of don't like hot glue anymore because of how messy it is.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm getting a bit into making everything with AVA.
So this is how my phone is looking like. I know it's a bit bit up, but I have a purpose with this being like that. So
Like all that making is on my Instagram. it's on it's on my Instagram completely. You're gonna see the wig, you're gonna see the dress, and you're gonna see the prop basically. So it's something that I'm very proud of because it's the first prop that people say like that's so pretty. How did you make that? Like, and I was like, it's nothing complicated. I just used this and that and combined it, and we got that.
And a whole lot of faith.
Never could have made it without you.
A lot of faith because believe me, this hold that like the whole con, but at the end always something breaks. So it did break at the end of the con. So, but yeah, that basically.
Awesome. That is truly amazing. Do you like to continue?
As for what inspired me to get into prop making, um, I mean, it really goes back to when I was like younger, because I would constantly be making like little dresses for my dolls. I'd be making little tiny paper swords for them, and um, I've always loved the feeling of making something, taking raw materials and kind of breathing life into them. And when I was younger, actually, I would play swords a lot with pieces of wood that I found with my cousins, and we would kind of like shape the wood to the best of our abilities, and we would kind of make
Barbie dolls? Nah, sword fighting.
sword fighting.
Yeah, sword fighting.
No, I had a lot
Yeah.
I had a lot of male cousins, and they would like make these amazing swords. They would carve them out. And when I was younger, I would just kind of like watch them and be like, someday I want to do that. And after that, I got into several like art hobbies and all that, and then into fashion, which I've always loved. And of course, since I hit puberty, I've always loved like geeky things, nerdy things, anime, video games. And I was like, how cool would it be if I had the prop in real life? And I ended up getting into prop making. There have been a lot of people that have also inspired me to make it. And one of the things that really kept me going when making my first prop was essentially telling myself, I waste more time worrying about failing than actually failing.
Amazing.
Yeah. No. Brandon, your turn. Same question to you.
Alright, so what got me into prop making was really just seeing how the technology for 3D printing has evolved. As I mentioned, I've been 3D printing since I was in middle school. I think I started when I was 7. I'm 19 now. So I've been 3D printing for most of my life. And when I first started 3D printing, printers were these very clunky things that would print out tiny little figures. So that's how I started. And then just seeing from like basically what's a Lego minifigure to something like this. Small little like box set
That is so cute.
to something a little more complicated like this.
Ooh, that looks so nice.
Thank you. And it started with again that nonprofit where at first I was Bane from DC. So 3D printing the mask and then Superman. Oh, I'm 3D printing some cape clasps. And then I went to Loki. So I end up 3D printing his scepter. And 3D printing that scepter is really what made me realize, okay, wait, I can do some really, really, really cool stuff with this. And here I am sitting in samurai armor on a podcast.
That's just how it is.
That's part of it. No, it's just like
Best possible outcome.
it's really awesome. Like I really love your work.
Thank you.
So I forgot what I was talking about.
Before we go to the next question, I just want to say that, like, when it comes to the cosplay community in general, not just here in Puerto Rico or not just in Philly, but like worldwide, a lot of people like they don't notice that prop making is a really, really important part of cosplay. Like, it takes a lot of time, dedication, and money, of course,
Money.
a lot of
Especially money.
Especially money.
like a lot of people think, oh, it's easy, but in reality, it's not. It takes time, and honestly, for the three of you to like do this, and it's kudos to you guys. Like it's a lot of time and work.
My bank account is crying.
Yeah.
I know.
Every time.
Real tears.
Every time.
Right now,
Props.
yeah.
Like props. Yeah.
I brought
Three
a
of you for
plus.
that.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm currently working on a prop myself for the first time. I've never done this before, and like I'm gonna lend it to a friend of mine. Shout out to Henry Cosplays. Um, yeah. I don't know if I can say what it is because I don't know if they are gonna like if people know what her cosplay is gonna be.
It's
Sakai?
basically on standby, so if they haven't revealed it, I don't want them to be mad at me.
Yeah.
No, don't reveal it. It's fine. We'll just wait. We'll
I'll
wait.
reveal it. Just
It's
wait
just
for
a month
Sakai
wait.
to- We'll
Yeah,
post
just a little
photos
bit.
though. We'll
Yeah,
definitely
there's
post
only
photos
a
for
month
everybody to
left.
see it.
Just stay tuned on our socials. It's gonna be revealed.
But
Yeah.
for real though, it's a really, really important. It's just like photography, like it's important,
same thing.
and I feel like every single thing that everybody does in the cosplay community, it's as important. Everything is equally tough. Nothing's easy, but at the end of the day, if you're having fun and you're feeling like a kid again, you're using your imagination. I think that's what's the most important part.
Yeah, which is basically there is a whole the background of the on the cosplay community is happening that they started to compare characters like competing against each other
Competing against
when
us.
it shouldn't be that you just have to have fun and that's it. Act like a little dumbass kid and that's it.
That's it. Just be
Basically.
yourself. Like people
Yes.
look at you like something like that.
Side,
But
bombastic side eye,
it's like
criminal
and they do
offensive
that.
side eye.
And cosplay competitions has become that, sadly. And I don't want it to become that because you need to have fun between all and be proud of what you did. Like not everything is a competition. Like even they got categories on best prop. So it's basically recognized worldwide that props are very important part of cosplays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a sense of competitiveness is kind of inevitable, especially with people that are very spirited when it comes to their cosplays. But I really believe that if you have the sense of competitiveness, it's best to turn it inwards not turn it into perfectionism because that can be a little bit unhealthy, but compete with yourself, compete with your own standards, compete with your limits. Try to always figure it out and try to always step it up with every cosplay that you make so you always feel growth and satisfaction. And I feel like that would be a healthy application of one's own competitiveness when it comes to cosplay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and mentioning that also, like this weekend, the Asahi and I, we were in Ponce at the Mega Geek Con, which, by the way, shout out to Nerdtopia, and thank you so much for letting us for debut. um,
Which is where all those crazy interviews that I did that
Yeah.
turned into memes.
but like I saw there was a father and a son there, and the son was like 4 years old.
He was
And
I think
so
more. I think it was like between 5 and 6.
yeah,
Around there.
But like there was a day that I saw him. I think it was Friday because it was like the 3-day event. And Friday, like the kid was a little bit sad because like his prop broke. So his dad was like, "Hey, it doesn't have to be perfect, as long as you're having fun." And then like the kid
Yeah,
seemed
it is
happy
not
for
just
it.
that. I was there on Sunday and the kid competed
Yeah.
and he won with
Oh,
the
really?
Berserker
Oh,
cosplay. Yeah. He won and he was so cute. When they called his name, he was like, Dad, I won! Oh my god. I almost broke down to tears right there because he was so cute, honestly.
cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think at the end of the day, like nothing's gonna be perfect. What for me, I think perfect is just I had fun. You had fun with your friends. Like that's for me, that's perfect right there. So
Yeah, that is like the most like important thing, like to have fun, and that's it.
Don't
If
worry
there's
about anybody's opinion.
exactly, if there's like some drama going on, as long as it doesn't involve you, mind
as
your
long as
business.
it
That's
doesn't.
it.
Even then, if somebody, I always tell myself this: if somebody has something to say about your cosplay, water off a duck's back. They didn't make it. They don't have a right to have an opinion on it. Always be
Yes.
proud of what you make. Whenever someone says anything negative, it's water off a duck's back. Don't listen to them.
Yes.
Preach.
I agree. I agree.
So, what are like the cosplays that that you guys currently working on?
if you can say,
If you can say, if you don't want to spoil it, that's fine.
Okay.
Because like
I
Kaiju is on the way.
It's on the corner, literally.
and we know there's Comic Cons out there in the States.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes.
there's Comic Con on the States too.
By the way, before we get to that, I just want to say a shout out to San Diego Comic Con, which was so cool that I saw. If anyone hasn't seen this before, but Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the MCU as Doctor Doom. I am so excited. I grew up reading the comics for. I grew up. I grew up reading the comics of Fantastic Four, and Doctor Doom is one of my favorite villains. And the fact that Robert Downey Jr., who's one of my favorite actors, is playing him, it's like, damn.
You
We're like
I'm
this.
like, man, I don't know how to be. I feel like he's gonna be a good villain.
I mean,
I literally was like laying down on my bed because I got a shift from work, and he calls me, so I was like, "What do you want?"
Like 11, 12 at night. I called her.
And
He
then
was
and then
just
he said,
excited and like, oh my god,
Yeah.
oh my god, oh my god.
like
Because my partner was the same with me. He was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I was just, what?
I remember seeing the news, and I was like checking my phone, and I was like, "Oh my god, X or Y cosplayer is gonna freak out!"
Yeah.
I was like, "What do you want?" And he said, "Oh, Robert Downey Jr. is gonna be the Doom with you." Whoosh!
Oh shit!
Like I literally jumped out of my bed. It's a miracle that I didn't scream because my room is right next to my parents. So it's
Yeah,
like,
and you were like,
This is
do I scream? Do I not scream?
Yeah. I mean, Kaiju-kun is evil for doing this to us because I was like checking my phone, and I was staying in like a little apartment in Florida, and those buildings in like the United States, they have a tendency to be very thin, like the walls.
Yeah.
And I think Keith Silverstein was revealed that night, and I started like screaming at the top of my lungs. And like my parents knew what was happening because I was sitting next to them, and they knew that I was like getting very excited. I was like, I don't know what it's gonna be. I think it might be this guy. I think it might be this. Long story short, we got a complaint.
Get no sleep cause of y'all. Y'all not gonna get a sleep cause of me. Wow, 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 wow. Get the
Every time that Sekaiju like posts like an event update, I
Everyone
go,
gets scared.
I go, I go to my parents and I'm like, I'm gonna scream.
Fair warning.
Be rest assured. So please don't act surprised.
I think I just
I
resorted
do
to keeping
scream.
my mouth shut.
There was a point where like I got sick to the point where I couldn't scream. It's like oh my god, like a silent scream, you know that like, you want to scream but the voice doesn't come
voice
out.
doesn't come out. Yeah.
So I was struggling with the screaming.
Yeah, I bet.
But like the one of the voice actors that I really got excited about is the last one that did announce. So Mr. Nanami Gento is
Yes.
Of
coming.
course.
Yes.
So
It was crazy.
Brandon, if you're ever in Puerto Rico, man, just let us know.
I
and
got goosebumps talking
we'll
about
bring you to
it.
these events, man. And same thing when we go to Philly or any of them out there, we gotta meet up, man, for real.
Aren't like any Philly cons or something? Or do you travel to other states?
I'm not from Philly. I'm in State College right now, which is about 3 hours away from Philly.
Okay.
But I travel all over. So yeah, there's a lot of cons around here. Last weekend was TechoCon in Pittsburgh. There were I think around 10,000 people there. Pretty big con. I wore Chandelure, and I wore my Ayato from Tokyo Ghoul. I have a few more events coming up.
Ooh.
I am a professional cosplay guest actually at Colossal Con East
oh, awesome!
That is so cool. Congrats.
at Kalahari with my friend Alex, white hair Dante, shouting him out. I met him at a different convention competing against him in a cosplay contest, and we became very close friends after that. For what it's worth, he beat me,
awesome.
but
That's so cool.
you know, it's a healthy competition between us now.
Yes.
And to
Oh
answer
yeah.
to answer that earlier question about the next project, so I was actually invited to guest at another event at the Halloween Expo and Oddities Fair in the Catskill Mountains in New York. And this is a very Halloweeny event. It's spooky. The resort is supposedly haunted. And now that I'm doing my main focus on Pokemon, my next project is a 100% build of Giratina. Basically, the Pokemon devil, the ruler of the distortion world. There's going to be wings. There's going to be
That's
a
crazy.
giant tail. There's going to be a scythe where the blade is like 3.5 feet long. Lights,
Awesome.
everything. I am
think-
going all out.
I
for
think
this.
this doesn't stand. Doesn't compare, I think.
Don't say that. Don't say that. I am so excited to begin work on that. I'm moving into a new apartment soon. So when I have
More
the space
space.
and I'm not sitting in a college dorm, I am going
Yes.
to immediately start on that.
Okay, awesome. So we did a question box on Instagram, asking like what our followers got questions about to your prop makers. I was getting there. Give me a break.
Sorry.
I started. So we got a question from Anati Gerko Cosplays, which is what is the most affordable EVA foam you can get?
Okay. For affordable EVA foam, or at least where I find that you can get the most affordable rolls of foam, well, they might not be as big as one might like. They might be a little bit more porous. That can very easily be fixed with the right primer and a good heat gun. But sometimes I find it off of eBay. I find rolls of 1 to 10 millimeters for like $4 or $5, maybe $10. Shipping is more often free.
Yeah.
If you want to coat small projects, definitely the foam is from Capri. And another affordable foam that is used very frequently would be the yoga mats that you would find at like elementary schools, those little like puzzle piece mats. Just turn it around, stand it, prime it, and you're good to go. Foam is foam.
Foam is foam, literally. And Capri is a lifesaver.
Yes.
It's like a biggest store
Yeah.
with sewing stuff and projects. As for big projects,
Yeah.
basically, and they come in clutch when you need them.
Do you think Capri should have like a booth at a convention?
I think they should.
Yeah.
They should. Yeah, definitely.
They should actually. That would actually be pretty.
That would be pretty
Or like
interesting.
a sponsor or something.
Yeah, and people who are like you guys
Hell
are,
yeah.
or like those are new into prop making
Yes.
that want to do prop making.
Yeah,
like,
but
they
basically,
might-
you can get
Tika
everything
you. Think about it, Capri.
about it. I think no, like Capri has like this big ass space of just um tela, por decirlo así. No me acuerdo cómo se dice en inglés, perdón. Pero tiene una
Fabric.
sección
Fabric.
bien grande de tela. They have a big ass section of foam, big ass section of everything. Everything. I go there to pick up everything because it is necessary. But yeah, eBay, I found eBay EVA foam on Temu, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes,
Mm.
5 millimeters, the roll for only $5.
Whoa.
We have
I
to
am
use Temu.
waiting for my package to get here to see if it's good quality or not. But
You gotta
I
wait a
think
month first.
yeah, probably.
I,
But-
I, I used to order from Temu. It takes forever.
Yeah, it does take forever.
Unfortunately.
But I think that here in Puerto Rico, people use it so often that the shipping is really fast. So
Yeah.
I have no
True.
problem with that. But I'm still waiting for the shipment.
Temu is a huge like boom here.
Here, yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Little
I
that's
see.
all.
Actually, this little tiara, the foam itself is from eBay, if I remember correctly. This is 5 millimeter foam from eBay. It was like $3 a roll. And these little jewels are actually like the backs are painted with nail polish from like Sally or really any beauty store that you could find. But the glass jewels for the tiara, actually, these are from AliExpress. And I ended up
There you
ordering
have
them in a certain diameter, and they were like 50 cents. And then they shipped to me, and they took like a month to get there. So please always order materials from AliExpress and Temu with like
Yeah.
well in anticipation.
Okay, so we got with you only B2 haven't like answered the
Yeah.
question about like the affordable EVA foam you can get. Like in your opinion, since you're out there in the States.
I don't work with EVA foam often. I've used it for a couple of projects. I used it for the wings on one of my 3 different renditions of Ayato. But usually I just get my EVA foam from Michael's. There's one like a 3-minute drive away from me. I get coupons. It's
Yeah.
easy. I just drive there, load up 5 coupons on it, get it for like $5 to $10.
Yeah.
Be happy. That's
Coupons
all
are a
I
lifesaver.
need.
I would love for them to open a Michael's here because we need it. We need
Yes.
it.
Just be me, have foam, be happy.
Yeah.
Happy me, happy life.
And also, the second question that we have here is, what's your favorite part of making props? No pressure whatsoever.
For me, I really like I've a lot of the time in my childhood I felt very like unnoticed. I feel like a lot of people didn't like really notice me. So that's why a lot of my cosplays and my props tend to be very extravagant, very large, very glowy. Because then it makes me feel really good when people recognize my work.
Mhm.
So like I remember one of the best moments was when I had this at a con, and there were people like what you were talking about, Delasahi, lining up to take photos, and I was like, yes, like this feels really good. I feel like I'm actually getting like recognized for doing a good job for once. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite part of just getting positive feedback because it just makes me feel good and motivates me to keep doing more of them.
Okay.
Girls?
What was the question again? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What was your favorite part of prop making?
Of prop making. Okay, I think I'm gonna be like Brandon. Like, it's the feel that you did something right. Like, it's the feel like when you look at your finished product and say, "Damn, I did that. I don't believe that." Like, it's something like that, And maybe you can be working on that prop for 3 days, 5, a week, months, and all of that. And the satisfaction that comes with it, I think that's the best part of prop making. Doesn't need to be perfect, but just in your own way.
Absolutely.
Um, oh my goodness. I find like making the prop from start to finish, except maybe drawing the pattern onto the foam, it can be very tedious. Um, but I think the whole process after that, from cutting to gluing to priming, painting and weathering and shadowing and then detail work, um, it's so satisfying and soothing and calming start to finish. Um, so I think with the knowledge that I just love every bit of it from start to finish, I think I love the feeling of like wearing it the most. I feel so confident and so pretty. I didn't expect to in an armor cosplay, but I feel like really pretty, really confident, really out there in Daisy's cosplay. Um, but if I have to pick like specifically something that I really love, I think the tiara is a great example. I love doing detail work. I love cutting out like the fine parts of it, putting jewels on it, just kind of the details. I feel like it always brings it together with like this little line, the little circle around it, and so forth. Um, but yeah, I really love the whole process. I really can't choose almost.
That's awesome. Now, do you guys have any recommendations for the cosplayers that are struggling, like myself, to do like a prop correctly, and all that, to do like their due process in order for the prop one to not break, and second, to basically last at least throughout the whole con.
All right, yeah.
In my opinion, there's no such thing as doing a prop correctly. Everybody has their own way that they want to go about it. Now, as to the other points, I am the king of my cosplay, of my prop breaking. One of the most embarrassing moments in my cosplay career, I was cosplaying a OC version of Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. Went on stage, spun my staff, and both of the centipedes that were on the staff had snapped off and fell on stage in front of like 300 people.
Oh my god.
So the thing I will advise is invest in some very strong glue. A lot of the time I will use dowel rods or screws to internally hold stuff together. Just like you'll probably be fine. Just don't be stupid like me, and just be like, oh, just a little bit will hold it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because my stuff has broken very often, and I would like that to stop happening. But it stopped happening recently.
We all
so,
do.
Yeah, happens to everyone.
I think that the process you basically need to follow. First of all, establish what you want to do. Like if you want to do a sword of, or depending the character that you're gonna cosplay, put it on paper. Even if you don't draw, you're not a perfect artist. Just put it on paper and see all the pieces you need, all the materials you're gonna need, and then take the time to construct it. Like you need time. I know people con crunch and do it like this, but for a beginner, that's not possible. I'm sorry, but it is not. Like I, I tried to do it myself,
I
and I
learned that
couldn't.
the hard way.
Yeah.
It let me wait anxiety attack at chest space for like months.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, just design it, buy your materials, and get to work. That's just it. And work it on your time if you have time. Try not to come crunch. That is not gonna get you anywhere, and probably is gonna make you think like, I gotta make it fast. I gotta make it fast, and you're not gonna make it stable enough, and it's gonna break. So the important thing is that to at least it gets through the con. Hot glue does the job, depending on the material. Because, well, yeah, if you're working with EVA foam, contact cement is the way to go. But please remember to breathe. Take a breather. Wear a mask. Like contact cement is not for the weak, and sanding EVA foam neither.
We don't want a intoxication situation.
No, we don't
So
want that.
please,
We don't want
safety
you
measures.
like hyperventilating in the con just because you were intoxicating the day after or something like that. So it's very important that you remember that.
In terms of wanting a prop to turn out, especially the way that you want it, especially if you have kind of like a vision, if you're comparing it to the original reference, or if you want it to look perfect, I really can't stress this enough. When it comes to cosplayers that you know are more experienced and that you trust to ask questions to, or if you have any fountain like maybe Google or YouTube, please do not be afraid to ask questions. How do I hide seams? How do I make this specific shape? How do I get this effect that I want? And particularly if you want a cosplay that lasts, when it comes to EVA foam, I very much agree with your point. Avoid hot glue, only maybe use super glue for gluing details on. But contact cement is the way to go. Make sure to put one layer on and then let it dry, and then a second layer. Repeat this on the other part. Make sure to let them completely dry. That often tends to be the best bond for me because tackiness will kind of like pull the foam apart. And just put it on carefully. I recommend putting parchment paper between the two pieces of foam so they don't like automatically stick together and you can get as smooth a seam as possible as you go up the seam, putting it together. And particularly, I know that people love making big scythes, big swords, big props, and unless you're already working with a rigid material, if you're making the blade of the sword, for example, with EVA foam, for the hilt, a PVC tube. This is actually a put support layers underneath your hilt because were this just a hilt glued to the sword, it would be completely unbalanced. This actually is a PVC tube underneath, which I find is very useful. But the sword itself is already a sturdy material. It's wood. But if you're working with an EVA foam blade, a wood dowel from Home Depot or a fiberglass rod, sand a channel into the middle of your blade. So if you want your blade to be like 10 millimeters thick, have one layer be 5 millimeters and the other layer be 5 millimeters. And then set the wood dowel or fiberglass rod in the middle and glue both your pieces together and sand down the edges to smooth them together. Oh my gosh, did it go out?
Yeah, but keep going. You guys are so
um, and sand down the edges to keep them together. And at that point, you're going to have a sword with a perfectly stable channel or vein running in the middle of it. And on using contact cement, also in complete agreement, contact cement contains toluene, which is very toxic. I have a tendency to work with these materials, and please wear a mask. If you can still smell the contact cement through the mask might not be working in the way that you want it to. A dust mask is not enough. And another thing, contact cement, when in prolonged contact with the skin, can cause liver damage and other internal damage. So it's very important that you also wear gloves. Treat contact cement like it's toxic waste when you're working with
Literally,
it.
literally, we don't want anyone being sick.
It's toxic. So
Like
Yes.
it is toxic. It is.
please like be careful with your health. Although put your health first on
Yeah.
anything because yes,
Mhm.
people do con crunch and all that. I did con crunch last year and it gave me an anxiety attack for months, like the chest pain for months, and
Mhm.
like I barely eat when I'm like hyper focused. So
Yeah. And
it's
drink
good,
water
like, to
always.
look out for yourself first
Mhm.
and then like continue on with the prop and all
Yeah.
that because if you're really eating
Mhm.
and all that,
Yes.
it's gonna take a toll on your body that you're not gonna.
And
really
then
be
you're
able-
supposed to give your best performance at the con,
Yes.
and then you're not gonna be able to because either you're tired, you have a headache, or this and that. And wigs can be,
Yeah.
a headache most of the times.
Plus the amount of people, the
The
heat.
amount of people, if there's AC, suddenly the AC stops working, but there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So everyone starts sweating and stuff like that.
Because
So
basically last year on Masuri, I was doing Hibana Saturday. I was very cranky
Mhm.
because not only because of the code that I did last minute, that is
The
the
reason
reason
why I
why
got
I got
the chest pains and all that,
Mhm.
but
but
also
also
the
the
contact
contact
lenses
lenses
that I had of her. I had her contact lenses, which
Yeah.
I could barely
See.
see.
Yeah, I had a guy.
It was a mesh of like
Yeah,
her eye
I get
and all
you.
that. So it was like it was horrible.
For my power contact, I did the exact same thing, and you cannot see anything.
Yeah.
Like you see the people up close if you get up close like this.
Yeah.
Exactly. There was a point where like I was like resting. I was like sitting down on the floor on the photo alley,
Yeah.
right? And then a cosplayer like se me acercó and I couldn't recognize. And so I took one of the lenses off. I was like, oh shit, hi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, on that
No, and
note,
I saw you throughout the con, like taking out the contact lens and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's you!" and things
Yeah.
like that. You know, because you
I
cannot see with them. That's why when you're into cosplay as well, look into contact lenses. I get that you want to be as canon as possible, but look into something that you can see and
Yeah.
feel comfortable with it. If you're gonna wear them for more than 8 hours, so
Yes. I mean, a good con is a safe con. But on the note of con crunching, actually, it also pertains to the question of when you want a prop to turn out right. Please never work for more than 6, maybe 8 hours. Make sure to take breaks, drink water, sleep well,
Eat something.
eat something. Because if you're ever frustrated and the prop isn't turning out right, you're mentally exhausted and things aren't going to turn out all right. When I've been exhausted and I've insisted on continuing to work on a prop, I end up messing up and making a lot of mistakes than I would have if I had just gone to bed and started again next year. So please take breaks.
yeah, very important.
Yes, take breaks and all that. Take a nap. Like
Yeah,
you know
take
that
breaks.
when you're like so frustrated, it is like, yeah, I'm gonna take a nap.
It's like I feel you're frustrated. You want to fix your mistake
Yeah.
right at the time, but you're so frustrated that you can't do it.
Because you can't think. You're
You
just
can't
focused
think
on the
exactly.
flow.
Like you just fixated on the mistake. Like just go play, eat, drink water, go do whatever it is. Come back to it a few hours later or the next day. You still have
Yeah.
time.
Exactly. So basically, like have like also like a schedule on what to do.
Very
Basically,
important.
because unfortunately, a lot of us have jobs.
Yeah, the
You
adult
know that,
one.
and so that we had to do like a specific like time slot in order to work on it.
Yeah.
But also you had to like prioritize your mental health and also to spend time with our families and all that because not everything is like on the prop itself,
Yeah.
especially if you have like a vast amount of time, which is why I am slacking on my Punisher at the prop.
Yeah.
I gotta finish it. I have to finish my problem.
It's basically time. Like your job consumes you, and then you're like, when I get home, I'm gonna go do this. You fall into your bed and you fall asleep.
That's me every
Yeah.
day.
Like you don't have
I've done
time
that
to
so
do
many
anything.
times.
Literally.
So that is important. Like take care of yourself. Don't burn out. Like try to not burn out. Basically, like take breaks, eat, drink water. Don't do as I do, do as I say.
Please.
Basically.
We don't want an ambulance at the con.
Yeah.
No, for the love of God, no.
Like, we don't want that.
I have no more questions. I mean, I just want to say again, thank you for all three of you, honestly. And like, if you guys haven't followed them before, please follow them. We'll add them in the captions, and we'll also be posting this on YouTube as well, so that way you guys can like share it to friends, family. Honestly, again, I want to say like you guys are amazing. I personally love the fact that prop making is like getting bigger and bigger. I love the fact that I've seen new cosplayers wanting to try out prop making as well. And yeah, I just want to say thank you, all three of you, for joining us in this podcast. It's our first episode.
Yeah,
Thank
like
you for inviting us.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for
yeah.
having me.
They thank you for Marshall for taking the time out of your day, to join us here. So yeah, I guess
I guess
that'll be all.
that's it.
I'll see you guys in another episode very soon.
Oh, and before we go, just want to give a shout out to Janie, who did our logo. Thank you so much again, Janie. Love it. Also, shout out to Cost Events, where they're gonna be hosting an upcoming
Yes.
activity, which is a cosplay party on
Yeah.
August 4th in
Yeah.
Vega Baja.
Gospel Party August 4th. Like we are gonna do interviews that day. Make sure like to catch us there on on the cosplay party. Why did I stutter?
That happens.
Yeah. So yeah, catch us there. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone.
It's kind of weird. You're still here? Jesus. Well, if you made it this far, I am so sorry. Oh, you poor souls. Anyways, now that we got you here, we want to give a huge shout out to two amazing, wonderful people. There's number one, Janie. Because of Janie, we have this sexy, amazing, beautiful logo that we love so much. And honestly, Janie, thank you so much. If you guys haven't been following Janie, please follow her on social media because she's got amazing commissions. She does amazing drawings as well that we have even participated in buying. And we just want to give her a huge shout out as well. So please follow her and take advantage of her commissions. You're starting a business, you want to create a logo, Janie's your girl. She is great at what she does. So please give her a huge, we're giving her a huge shout out, give her a huge follow, and her commissions are open. And the second person that we want to give a huge shout out to is Vane Dreamer. He's an upcoming indie artist slash music producer based here in Puerto Rico, but is bilingual. And he's also pretty great at what he does as well. So check out his music, check out his streaming platform, check out his social media, give him a huge follow. And if you guys are ever interested, or if you're an upcoming artist and you need to make some beats or trying to make a movie and you need someone to work in the audio engineering area, Bane Dreamer is your guy. So check him out on social media. And yeah, hope you guys have fun. Bye. I wanna say,